Good morning on this Friday. I wanted to bring up something that has come up numerous times in my conversations this week about the COVID-19 crisis and how retailers are being shut down for so long. One of the things that we have been discussing with folks is the turn-up process for when this is all over. One of the things that no one's really thinking about now, because they're just trying to figure out their footing in the crisis, is once stores come back, there's going to be a whole turn-up process that's going to have to occur prior to stores opening to the general public. And what I mean by that is technology doesn't typically work when it's not used for an extended period of time. So if you're not using an internet connection or using a point of sale or cellular service, typically there's some tinkering that has to occur to get things going again, kind of kick off the barnacles, if you will. And what's going to happen, what we think is going to happen, is prior to retailers opening to the general public, they're going to need to do a turn-up service. And they're going to have to figure out how to get folks to their stores, test out printers, credit card machines, point of sale, cellular services, their internet connection, VPNs, all of the stuff that's required, the infrastructure layer that's sitting out at the store, and make sure that everything's working so that when the store finally does open and people rush to the store because they have been home for potentially 2 months, that the store is able to take credit card payments and everything's working. Because the worst case scenario would be that a retailer doesn't plan on this or tries to have a store manager deal with it and then find out that a large number of their stores, potentially in upwards of 30 to 40% of their stores, are not operational and are going to require service prior to them opening. So that just delays them even further. So one of the things that we're looking at helping with is pre-planning that stuff now, getting ahead of the curve and figuring out, what does that program look like? What has to be tested? What can be remediated? Are there any parts that are going to be needed to send to site just in case, so that when we get the word that this is over and ramping down and that stores can open again, they will actually be ready to do so and not end up with a catastrophe on opening day or potentially have delayed store openings because now they have to rush. The other thing that we want to point out is that we've said in our sales pitches forever that there's only a finite number of technicians in each region. And despite who you use as a partner, those folks are typically the same folks. There's only so many remote hands or smart hands people in regions that can be employed because a lot of them are contractors. So what's going to happen is when all of these stores rush to come online and potentially run these little turn-up programs, they're going to have a hard time getting the technicians aligned if it's last minute or if they're dispatching same day or trying to do some sort of expedited service. Things are going to be delayed because there's not going to be enough contractors to get to your store. It's going to matter of which partner you're working with, and who might have it pre-planned. So again, one of the things that we're coming to market with is trying to pre-plan that now. Book the technician's time now so that you have somebody reserved for your turn-up, and potentially going in the day before that you're about to open or 2 days before with some parts and get on site, test everything, remediate any kind of issues, kind of kick the barnacles off, get the store operating. And then once the store is operational, you can open without a hitch, right? And you're not going to be worried about getting technicians there. You're not going to worry about your partner not being able to deliver. Because I think right now, the issue is people are looking to gain footing in the current climate. They're trying to figure out how to make their business work. The problem is if you're not thinking 3-4 weeks from now, which is not all that long, you may end up in a position where now this turns into a 6-week or longer endeavor. Because you just don't have access to resources, you don't have access to warehousing or components. So this stuff really should start to enter your mind today. And if you need any help or assistance on that, feel free to reach out to me. You can send me a message. You can contact me through my email or LinkedIn. And I'd be happy to talk to you about what we're seeing, what we're thinking. And again, we're reserving that time now. So I think it's smart that you start to think of what that turn-up program is going to look like. Where are your worst areas, or what's the least common denominator to define what a store is going to look like when it has to turn back up, where there may be some issues. and then reserving that time and potentially booking something now. And we'll help you with that. We're looking at being part of the solution. In many cases, I'm able to extend a pre-planned rate at that point because now we're booking that text time now. People are hungry to book stuff now so that they know that they're going to be busy. It helps the economy. It helps those individuals. And it's going to help you ultimately because you really need to start thinking about what the turn-up program is going to look like in your space. So food for thought, kind of an interesting thought for the weekend. And we hope that we hear from you, or if I can help in any way, please reach out. But this will end and things will go back to normal. We really just have to weather the storm together and help each other in any way possible. And that's what we're trying to do. Thank you. Be safe.